Should you scout for Larry on a vacation? Is he any good? Well, guys, first things first, you should definitely scout for Larry, especially if he is one of your favorite characters, because not only is he working overtime as a gym leader, as an Elite Four member, even I'm not sure if Gita or Lear force him to interact with you in the trainer lodge. So yes, you should scout for him because he definitely deserves his vacation. But kidding aside, the Sync Pair is a special costume unit. That means if you decide to go and scout for him, you have two routes. One is the paid route. The paid route will give you a 25% chance of scouting for him with 7,005 or 7,700 gems and a guaranteed copy of Larry at 20,200 paid gems. If you go for the regular route, then 36,600 gems it is if you get completely shafted. But this is a flying type support Sync Pair. See, still supporting you, sus, with an EX roll of field. Either way you go, paid route, non-paid route, you will not get a field roll cake or field roll candies or coins rather in the process of scouting for him, because this is not a poke fair, this is not a master fair. You get nothing. You get support move candy coins, if I'm not mistaken, by scouting for his regular route. But let's take a look at his kit right now. And as you can see over here, he has quite amazing defenses. 330 defense and 319 special defense is nothing to scoff at. Quite high. And in terms of damage power, 210, well, he's a support speed stat quite high. And if you give him his EX roll, his defenses go up even higher. Defense goes up to 350. Special defense goes to 339, which is really amazing. He has an EX roll of field. That means by EX rolling him, he can give you an extended flying zone. But what I'm really curious about, guys, is his passive skill. First passive skill, ally stat up, sync move boost up 1-9. Whenever an ally's stats are raised, that means either you raise your ally stats or the ally itself raises their own stats. You get to raise your sync move up next effect +1. Now, in terms of using Larry as someone to buff up everyone's stats, he has a trainer move called It Got Flavor, and this will reduce your sync move countdown -1 as well as raise the defense and special defense of all allied sync pairs by 4 stat ranks. And then it raises the accuracy of all allied sync pairs by 1 stat rank. Now, I believe this is not how this passive skill works. But if it raises your sync moves up next effect +1 for every single stat that you raise, that is crazy. I doubt this is how it works, but just in case, you know, sometimes DNA tricks us with the wording and stuff. But just in case, the game decides to raise one stat or one sync moves up next effect for one single stat. That's defense +4, special defense +4, accuracy +1. So that's sync moves up next effect +9, which again, I don't think this is how it works, but just in case this is how it works, it would be crazy and will make Larry a very, very strong sync move buffer for everyone. But I doubt. Again, I just think that it's just sync move up next effect +1 for every time. No matter how many stats are raised, it's just sync move up next effect +1. That's a 10% increase in your sync move damage. But again, the possibilities are endless. And then your second passive skill, first time, take sync move hit team HP recovery 2. When you get hit by a sync move from the opponent for the very first time, you get to raise or recover 20% for all your allies, which is very nice because you don't have to use a potion or mini potion all or synchro healing or stuff like that Just when you get hit by the opponent's sync move, you get to recover every single one of your allies. Just works one time, but that one time might be very nice. And then another one is take sync move hit, team physical and special boost up 1-9. This one does not apply just once. This applies perpetually until the end of the battle. Whenever you get hit with an opponent's sync move, you get to raise everyone's physical moves up next effect and special moves up next effect +1. So your physical attacks get 40% stronger. Your next special attack gets 40% stronger. Again, I wish that the first passive skill works like what I envision. I don't think it's gonna be like that, but who knows? Maybe DNA in the future will come up with something like that. But anyway, guys, so he has Air Slash, which just hits one opponent, but has a 30% chance of making that opponent flinch. You have Potion to recover health, aside from, you know, the automatic recovery after getting hit with your opponent's sync move for the first time. And then you have a buddy move called Summer Sky Feather Dance. And this will activate when you use any move once. So you can use an attack, you can use a trainer move, and then it will activate, and you can use this move, and when you use this move, it will deactivate, and you have 2 MP, you can use this twice. What does this do? It will turn the field of play into flying zone. Aside from that, it will lower the attack and special attack of all opponents -2 stat ranks, which is nice, the buffer. And then it will raise everyone's evasiveness +2. And then it will raise everyone's physical moves up next effect as well as special moves up next effect +2 stat ranks. This is not a damaging attack. You do not hit the opponents. You do not damage the opponents. But again, it will lower the opponent's defense or attack and special attack stat -2. It will bring in flying zone. It will raise everyone's evasiveness +2. And remember, when you raise a stat for all your allies, for any of your allies, that ally will get sync moves up next effect +1. And if what I'm envisioning is happening, that's +2 for this one, but I don't think so. And then it will raise everyone's physical moves up next effect +2. That's an 80% increase in your next physical attack. And special moves up next effect +2. An 80% increase in your next special attack stat for everyone. You can use this twice. You can raise everyone's accuracy, evasiveness +4 this way. You can lower the opponent's attack and special attack -4 this way. And you can bring in flying zone twice this way. So, without unlocking his EX role of flying, of field, you can already bring in flying zone. But if you unlock his EX role, you can bring in flying zone at least 3 times. Without unlocking his EX role, you can bring flying zone 2 times. And then again, with his trainer move, It's Got Flavor, you can use this once to lower your sync move countdown to raise everyone's defense and special defense +4, raise everyone's accuracy +1, as well as raise everyone's sync moves up next effect so that your next sync move will be a little bit more powerful. This is a support sync pair, so that means you get to raise everyone's sync buff +2 for your very first sync move. And if you unlock his EX role, you get to bring in an extended flying zone. So very nice sync pair, can buff up everyone, can recover. This is my favorite for him. First time take sync move, a team HP recovery. So the moment the opponent uses a sync move on you, you recover HP. Plus, again, that defense buff is nice. That attack debuff for the opponent is nice. As well as flying zone and everything like that. Plus, his defenses are not bad at all. Now, let's take a look back at what he can offer. So, he has an exclusive Lucky Cookie, which is Revenge Boost 9. Whenever you get attacked or hit by an attack, you get to recover or charge your move gauge +1. Not sure if I'm a huge fan of this one. Probably I'll give Vigilance instead for my support sync pairs. 1 out of 5, you got Escape Artist as well as Unflappable. 2 out of 5, you got Air Slash Move Gauge Refresh 3. I mean, his speed stat is not bad, but that might be helpful. Barrel Roll 2, when there's a flying zone, you get to receive less damage from the opponent's attacks. Flying Zone HP Recovery 1 to recover health, which is nice. It's got Flavor MP Refresh 2 so that you can lower your sync move countdown -1 as well as max out everyone's defenses. Raise accuracy stat plus another 1 as well as yeah, raise everyone's sync moves up next effect plus 1, or I think it's just 1. Natural Remedy removes all status conditions. Potion Master Healer 1, Potion MP Refresh 2 is always nice. And then Quick Tempo, you know, we have the move gauge acceleration thing now for Lacy. Now it's kind of helpful. And then you have Summer Sky Feather Dance move gauge refresh 9, which is nothing crazy, but that might be helpful in certain situations. And this sync pair maxes out at 3 copies. So at 3 out of 5, you got first sync move, Restore Body Move MP1. And what this does is that it minimizes the opponent's attack and special attack stat. So another -2 for the opponent's attack, special attack stat. And then it can bring in another flying zone. So by getting this, you can at least have 3 flying zones without unlocking his EX role. And again, raise another sync moves up next effect because you get to max out everyone's evasiveness by doing this. And then first time take sync moves hit team HP recovery 1. This is a little degraded version of his passive skill, but then if you get this and if you get hit by the opponent's sync move, well, not only do you recover 20% HP from the passive skill, but you recover an additional 10% HP from this one. That means you recover 30% HP instead. Wow, this is quite nice. And then you got Air Slash Aggravation 1 to have a higher chance of making the opponent flinch when you use Air Slash. Air Slash naturally has a 30% chance of making the opponent flinch. So by getting this Aggravation 1, you have a 60% chance of making the opponent flinch, which is really nice. Air Slash, hit, team attack, and special attack up 9. So by getting this, every single time you attack the opponent, you raise everyone's attack and special attack stat. If you do not have your attack / special attack stat raised to max, even one of them, so either attack or special attack, if you have them both max, well, there's nothing you can do. But if you don't have them max yet and you use Air Slash and that stat, any of those stats will get raised, you will get sync moves up next effect +1 for that particular sync pair, making your next sync move for that particular sync pair 10% stronger. And this will apply to every single ally you have, including Larry and Flamigo, that has not yet raised their stats to maximum. Nice. Flying Zone Extension 3 is very much helpful. If you get this, you probably will never run out of Flying Zone. It's got Flavor, Trainer Move, Sync Countdown down 9. So not only do you lower your sync move countdown -1 by using It's Got Flavor, you lower your sync move countdown by an additional 1 by getting this one. And then you got another Potion Master Healer and a Potion MP Refresh at 3 out of 5. This sync grid, these tiles are amazing, guys. By looking at this one, it's hard to choose which one is actually the best grid for it. Maybe situational, maybe I'll get some tile, maybe I'll get another tile. Probably in certain situations, I'll get Flying Zone Extension. I'll get It's Got Flavor, Trainer Move, Sync Countdown down 9. Aggravation 1 is always helpful. Air Slash, you know what? Every single one here is good. Probably I'll skip the first time take sync move hit team HP recovery 1 because 20% increase or recovery is already good with my defenses maxed out. If I have, you know, my It's Got Flavor MP refresh, although +4 special defense and +4 defense already does a lot. And I think that my HP will remain high all throughout the battle unless you have very high offensive parameters for the opponent. But yeah, triple Flying Zone, Flying Zone Extension, Aggravation to make the opponent flinch, and then keep on raising that. Sync moves up next effect will just make him really, really, really good. As a support sync pair, he is very, very nice. He's very good. You know, I always say, um, in terms of support sync pairs, I want defensive support sync pairs rather than offensive supports. There's one thing that makes him not that great. And this one is a personal complaint of mine as always. I always like to say that a sync pair that cannot raise critical hit rate is not so great. And from analyzing his kit and everything, this sync pair cannot raise anyone's critical hit rate. And that is just sad. If you're willing to bypass this, you know, a lot of sync pairs can max out their critical hit rate by using their trainer move and stuff like that. If you're willing to ignore this critical hit rate buff unavailability, then this sync pair is a really, really, really good flying type support. And flying zone is always a welcome addition because flying zone is not that available, in my opinion. And this sync pair is very nice all around. We have a very good flying type variety scout that came a couple of months back, which is Faulkner and Noctal. Was it Faulkner and Noctal? Very, very good. Very, very strong. Can make the opponents flinch. Can hypnotize or rather make all opponents fall asleep. This one is a nice addition to that one. And, you know, pair them up. Both of them maybe. I think that's overkill. But pair them both up maybe. And add an offensive flying type. And boom. All battles done. Maybe you don't even need Faulkner. Just have Larry, you know. The sad thing about this one is, for example, you decide to pair up Larry together with whatchamacallit, with Signasuit Ethan. Signasuit Ethan cannot raise his critical hit rate. And you'll have to use his trainer move, although you can use his trainer move infinitely by attacking, then using the trainer move, attacking, using the trainer move, or sync move, then trainer move. That's fine, but that's a hassle. So, there are certain exceptions. I'd rather have someone to permanently raise the critical hit rate. But aside from that, this sync pair is really good. And if you are scouting for this sync pair, just like I know a lot of my friends are going to because of the love of Larry, plus Larry's wearing shorts and flip-flops. You know, you don't see Larry wearing that. You always see him in a suit. So why not scout for him? Scout for your faves instead of the meta, and tell me if you're scouting for this sync pair. Until then, thank you for watching this video. It's been kind of long, but if you want to support me, coffee.com/splcom, or become a member of my channel by clicking on the join button down below. Until then, that's our analysis. Good luck with your scouts. I'll see you in the next one. Rawr.